Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, 3 men convicted in billion-dollar cocaine bust. 3 men were convicted on charges related to cocaine trafficking after they pleaded guilty in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. Delroy Bremer, Omar Nugent, and Jamie White were convicted of possession of cocaine and fined $1.5 million or 6 months in prison, trafficking in cocaine and fined $2 million or 6 months in prison, and importing cocaine and fined $2 million or 6 months in prison. The sentences will run concurrently if the fines are not paid. The vessel used in the commission of the offenses was forfeited to the Crown. The defendants were arrested on Monday, December 26, 2022, after the Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard intercepted a vessel carrying 463 kilograms of cocaine off Morante Point, St. Thomas, with 3 men aboard. The conviction of these 3 men demonstrates the value of collaboration in the fight against the drug trafficking networks, the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force said in a statement on Monday. Wait almost over for Vybz Kartel. Family, friends, and the fans of entertainer Vybz Kartel and his co-accused will know Wednesday afternoon whether the man they call World Boss will face retrial or be set free by the Court of Appeal. Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, the newly minted president of the Court of Appeal, who leads a 3-judge panel, had said that the highly anticipated judgment would be delivered by July 31. Many of Kartel's fans are waiting with bated breath for a favorable court decision for the controversial entertainer, a judgment that would see the Gaza boss walk free, triggering wild celebrations among his followers. However, Kartel's loyal supporters would have to wait for an extended period to know his fate if the justices send the entertainer and his co-accused back to court for a retrial. On March 14, 2024, the United Kingdom-based Privy Council, Jamaica's final court of appeal, overturned the convictions of Kartel, whose real name is Adidja Palmer, and the co-accused Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John. When the men last appeared before the court in June, the prosecution was pushing for a retrial, even though there was the likelihood that 2 of the accused, who are charged with the murder of Clive Williams along with Vybz Kartel, would have finished their sentence if convicted again. The men were charged with the 2011 murder of Williams and convicted in 2014. We are accepting that by the time we do come to a retrial, if it so orders, the appellants would have served close to or the full minimum sentence, Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson had said on the final day of a 6-day hearing to determine retrial in June. If the men are retried and convicted, the sentencing judge will have to factor in the 13 years that they have already served. Granted, they have got a bail and cannot impose a sentence that is higher than the previous penalties. But Thompson had argued that the accused men must not be allowed to walk free based on a technical blunder. All 4 accused were sentenced to life in prison, with Campbell and Jones given pre-parole sentences of 25 years, Palmer 35 years, and St. John 30 years. However, 2.5 years were later shaved off their pre-parole sentence by the Court of Appeal, which upheld their convictions. Police warn of prosecution for those who obstructed a Forestry Department team. Assistant Commissioner Calvin Allen, commander of the Area 3 Police, says that the authorities will be thorough in their probe into the recent theft of mahogany lumber from the forest reserves near Accompong, St. Elizabeth over the weekend. His comment comes after residents downed the trees and blocked the passage of a 7-member team from the Forestry Department on Friday. The security forces on Saturday managed to successfully escort the workers out of the area on foot after they had been stranded for 24 hours. A resident of the community told the news that it was illegal operators who were engaged in a standoff with the authorities after the Forestry Department said they were seizing recently cut logs. Speaking with the news, ACP Allen said the police will pursue serious action as they work to bring the perpetrators to book for the illegal harvesting as well as the barricading of the Forestry Department team.
The whole aspect of an intense investigation is in play as we look at what is seen as the illegal harvesting of government material, while simultaneously to look at what led to citizens performing their official duties, being barricaded and being put in that sort of danger regarding their lives. We cannot stand for these sort of things. We are ensuring at all levels that the necessary assessment are done. These assessment naturally guides what we do, how we do, when we do, why we do. So when we see situations like these that put people's lives in danger and that renders government property to be in question, we have no other recourse but to act, and to act in a very forthright and relentless way, because law, order, and citizen security is paramount. So the rule of law has to be enforced and reinforced on any given day in any given territory of our country.
Mourners deny the last look at a termite. Well-wishers and the supporters of reputed gangster Sheldon Termite Walters were left disappointed after they were unable to view the remains of the alleged gangster at his graveside yesterday. A strong contingent of police from the St. Catherine North and the South Divisions, Area 5 headquarters, and the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, along with members of the Jamaica Defense Force, converged on the family plot in Cherry District, Kitson Town, where Walters was interred. "Alright police, uno can't go on now, uno do uno job already, our time now," said one mourner. But the Superintendent Leighton Gray, Operations Officer for Area 5, explained that the police's presence was necessary based on the notoriety of the deceased man. Walters was killed by police officers on April 19 in Top Banks in the parish. He was the leader of the Klansman gang up to the time of his death, and his followers have decided that they want to have a gun salute and those things. "We are here to ensure the safety and the security of this event, and we are using this opportunity to apprehend some of these persons who are wanted or persons of interest," Gray told the news. But mourners were disappointed that they were not able to view the body of Walters before he was placed in the neatly designed orange and white tomb. One of Walters' siblings lamented that the family was not able to keep the Thanksgiving service they wanted based on the instructions of the police. "It is depressing because up to this morning the police told us that we could view the body at the burial ground, and when we got there, it is a different thing. Walters' sons couldn't even get to say goodbye properly. We would at least expect say we will get to see him. He is still human," she said, adding that the funeral was restricted to only an hour. She shared that her childhood was fun with Walters, enjoying summer holidays, visiting their grandparents, and river trips. "We never grew apart, we were close. We all have WhatsApp groups. It's just a complete shock. It's shocking that this happened. Although I don't believe," she shared with the news. "The man just married. Literally just married. It's not like he was on a wanted list or anything." Teen cousins die in motor vehicle crash. A family in Doheny Pen, St. Thomas, is mourning the loss of two cousins, Abriana Abri Rose and Lamar Papito Bantin, both 16, following an accident on Saturday. The teens were traveling with 3 others around 3 a.m. on the Doheny Pen Main Road when the driver lost control and crashed into a parked asphalt paving machine. Abriana, a student at Happy Grove High School, was pronounced dead at the hospital, while Lamar succumbed to his injuries on Sunday. Donna Douglas Gale, the teen's 64-year-old grandmother, described Abriana as a very nice person. "She was very jovial, she laughed a lot, she did well in school. There was nothing bad about her nor Lamar. Both of them were very close," she said. Douglas Gale added that Abriana was a prefect and actively participated in school activities, earning the affection of her teachers. She has been with me since she was a baby, but it's just since her mother migrated 3 years ago that I've had her full time," she shared, tears welling in her eyes. Douglas Gill said that the teens attended a cookout to support a close family friend. She had allowed them to go, expecting them to return on time. However, miscommunication with their ride left them stranded, and they ended up staying at an after-party where another attendee had promised to drop them home. The news visited the family's home, where both the teens were described as responsible, educationally driven, and goal-oriented. The both of them were the eldest. I have 6 grandchildren, and those 2 were my hands and feet because I am sickly and depend on them a lot to help me to run the shop, Douglas Gill said. Anika Richards, Lamar's mother, is struggling to cope with the loss. "Losing my niece and my son is unimaginable. Right now I have a bath pan of clothes sitting down to wash, and I have a machine in the house," she tearfully shared. Richards described Abriana and Lamar as a great loving kids who were always at home. Avery used our book as an excuse all the time, and Lamar was always playing games, but they always did what they were supposed to, she said. Abriana sent a voice message to her mother shortly before the accident, expressing her commitment to settling down for CXC. Lamar, a student at the St. Thomas Technical High School, was also committed to school. He often took care of his younger sisters and helped with grocery shopping and household chores. He was described by Richards as a reliable and responsible son, despite him spending a lot of time gaming. "I don't have to worry because he had it locked. His sisters asked me who was going to take care of them now, and I just had to tell them that when we reach that bridge we will cross it," she said. She was shocked at the news of the accident, as she thought the teens had changed their minds about going to the event due to bad weather. "I had a pain in my stomach stabbing me, and I started to pray to God to cover them and protect them. I prayed and prayed, but I guess he never heard me. He took them, so now I am asking him for the strength," she said. Doctors had stabilized Lamar, but were unable to save him due to a head injury and a collapsed lung. Richards said that she had been unable to sleep or eat since the tragedy and was devastated not to have been able to say goodbye to the teens. "I wanted to see him while he was still warm, but they moved him immediately," she said. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.